Hello and welcome back for another adventure in the cookie jar. Today we're doing the 5th recipe from the apple turnover murder. They are called Mocha Nut Butterballs. Let's take these pages and so these are not what I thought. I thought they would be, with the name like Mocha Nut Butterball, they would be like a truffle kind of thing, but they're just like a regular cookie. I was totally thrown off when I was looking over the recipe. But to do this, we are baking them right away at 325. You're going to want 1 cup of softened butter, 2 sticks, half a cup of white sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 tablespoon instant coffee powder. I used espresso powder. It's got a note saying, if the only instant coffee you can get comes in granules or beads, crush them into a powder with the back of a spoon before you add them to your cookie dough. Then you're going to want a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 1/2 cups finely chopped pecans. Another note, Mother likes these with chopped walnuts. Andrea prefers pecans. I think they're best with hazelnuts. Tracy adores these when I substitute flaked coconut for the nuts. And form the dough balls around a small piece of milk chocolate. It does, when mixing in the flour, it doesn't have to be exact. It'll come out even anyway. Just make sure the flour is added in 3 parts. Dough balls, shape them with your fingers. It does say to flatten a little bit. You want them to look like balls, but you don't want them to roll anyway. You are putting these on ungreased cookie sheets. It says, once you take them out of the oven, let them cool completely and then roll them in powdered sugar. It makes 3 to 4 dozen simply amazing cookies. And then it's got Hannah's first note. After Michelle ate almost half a batch, she had a suggestion. She's going to try making them and rolling them in sweetened powdered chocolate instead of powdered sugar. She thinks Ghirardelli makes a sweetened powdered chocolate that will work. Hannah's second note. I think these cookies would be incredibly tasty dipped in melted chocolate. Too bad there aren't any left so that I can try it. Just a couple of different ways you can make them. I'm just going with the standard recipe of letting them cool and then rolling them in powdered sugar. So, let's get started. This is everything we're going to need to make these cookies. Okay, so the first thing we're going to want to do is to take our butter and I'm just going to let it mix up for a second before I start adding stuff, just because I want it to... Alright, into the butter we're going to add the sugar, the vanilla, the instant coffee powder, the cocoa, everything wants to stick to the bowls today, and the salt. I'm just gonna let that mix. Now we're slowly going to add the flour. I don't know what to make of this. This seems like a... Alright, there's our nuts. Good luck to them because this thing's already stiffer than... Like, it stalled out my mixer, it's so stiff. Like, I don't know if they forgot some liquid or something. I have never been so glad that a recipe doesn't make too much, because like, this is not a recipe for anyone who has like dexterity issues or who's weak in the arms, because like the mixer couldn't even handle it. I can barely get a spoon through it. I don't know what these are supposed to be, but I can't help but wonder if the recipe maybe forgot some liquid somewhere. I don't know. I can't even stab the spoon all the way through. It's so thick. All right, we're gonna call that good because whatever. Like I said, it's his ungreased cookie sheets. So I without baking powder, I don't think these are gonna rise at all. And with it saying that they're supposed to retain ball form, I don't think they're gonna spread. But it still does say to have 12 to a sheet. So we'll go by their recommendations. All right, I would lift it up to show you, but if I lift it up, they're flying. There is nothing holding these things down. Although, you know, my expectation originally of them being truffle-ish is not far off. This dough is very truffly. This is not a cookie for anyone who does not like chocolate and coffee. Nuts optional, but this is like, they are overwhelmingly smelled of coffee and chocolate, which I love. You could make a candle of this and I would be happy. So here we are. We have exactly 40 of these Mocha Nut Butterballs. Now they're going to bake for about 12 minutes. Let's see what we get. Okay, so we have finished baking our cookies. They've cooled. Now we just take our powdered sugar and dip them in. I'm only going to do the tops. I'm going to leave the bottoms plain. Just kind of swirl them around into the powdered sugar. Here is the final look at the Mocha Nut Butterballs. These are the Mocha Nut Butterballs. Other than them being dry, they're really good. But like I said when I was making these, you have to like coffee and you have to like chocolate and you have to like them together. That is all these are. I mean, they have the almost like a toasted nut aftertaste, which is really nice. I like that flavor in my mouth. But if you do not like chocolate and coffee, don't even bother. And the powdered sugar, I know they were talking about doing maybe melted chocolate or chocolate powder on top, but I think that sweetness from the powdered sugar really hits it into that sweet spot. And yes, I was very concerned making these cookies for how stiff and dry the mixture was. But overall, I think these came out really, really good. And they're kind of cutesy for Christmas. But next week, we are making something called Imperial Cereal. Don't think it's actually baked. I know I went with it because it had orange juice and cranberries and cereal and some other stuff. And I was very interested to see what it actually came out to be. So if you're interested as well, join us next week. I hope you all have a good one. By the time I post next, it'll be after Christmas, so everyone has a happy holidays for whatever you celebrate. Merry Christmas, because that's what I celebrate. But bye.